Good morning. This is the pre-market report for Monday, 14th March 2022. Now, coming to what I think about this week is firstly, this week is going to be a news-heavy week on the international front because on Wednesday we have the Fed interest rate decision, the FOMC statement, the FOMC economic projections, and also the Federal Chair will speak. So this week will be very heavy on the news front. Now, over the weekend for the Indian market specifically, the news flow has not been bad. The reason I say that is, number one, the RBI has lifted all the curbs from HDFC Bank. This is a huge positive for the bank as they can basically resume normal functions. So expect HDFC today to do well, as this is a burden lifted off them. So if HDFC does well, naturally it will have the bank nifty. Then also when we see on the Ukrainian and Russia front, basically there are signs of the war coming to an end in two ways. Number one, Russia will take over Kiev as they're now very close to the center, or there will be a peace agreement between Zelensky and Vladimir Putin. So now one of these two things are going to play out. I know in the morning news cycle there's a lot of news going on about that Russia has asked China for help. I think that is just Russia's method of trying to put China on a basically back footing, that they have to decide whether they're going to side with Russia or with the West, as I'm 100% sure Russia does not need any more arms. They have enough of their own. Now, when we come to how I think the Nifty and Bank Nifty will trade, now I expect the Nifty and Bank Nifty to do well depending on one factor. I am mildly bullish on them, but it all depends now on the 50-day moving average in the 3-hour chart. If we look at, I'm trying to move this up. If we look at the Nifty and Bank Nifty, we see the same. Like right now, if we open the Nifty future chart, it is stuck at the 50-day moving average is acting as a constant resistance. If we manage to break above this, then we will have a clear up move up till the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. The same is applying to the Bank Nifty. The Bank Nifty, instead of the 50-day moving average, the 4-hour chart, as I highlighted in the past, the 20-day moving average, I said, will cause trouble for the index, and that's exactly what has been happening. It has been rejecting all the advantages of the banking index. Now, if we break above that today, then we can expect an up move. And in my opinion, we're going to break above it today or tomorrow. If we fail to, then in the Bank Nifty basically we'll come back to rest on the same 20-day moving average, but in the 3-hour chart. Overall, the Nifty is positioned in a more bullish way than the Bank Nifty, but I expect the Bank Nifty might catch up owing to the HDFC Bank problem resolving. Now, when we come to the intraday levels, now the Nifty, face here, the Nifty has, since we don't need this even, the Nifty has reached the change of polarity zone I had first spoken about when I started my first pre-market video, that I was expecting this to be a hurdle for the Nifty, after which we came down as expected. Now we have reached nearly the same point. You see guys, the index is heading towards the change of polarity zone, and also there is a 50-day moving average resistance there on the 4-hour chart. Now The 3-hour chart, the bank nifty is still a huge away from the change of polarity zone. Let's look at the intraday levels. So drop to the 15-minute chart. So now when we look at the index on this time frame, it's forming sort of a triangle, both of them. So it's going to have to break out on one side today or tomorrow. As I said earlier, I am expecting more of an up move. Basically, I believe a lot of the news has been factored in. Ukraine, Russia, the local cues are positive. So there is no real need for it to fall. If it fails to have a breakout, then I will expect it to form a box range, basically with 16,000 being the support, and will basically form up down within that range. Now coming to the support and resistance levels. Now SGX Nifty is not indicating gap down like yesterday, because yesterday I remember when I was computing the levels, SGX Nifty was around 16,480, I think. So now it is not far away from the close of Friday, so we can expect that the index might open with a small gap down, or it will open flat, relatively flat. Now the first resistance is 16,690 and 16,780. Now when I look at the yeah, 16,690 and 16,780, and then 16,860, 16,975 and 17,040. Now, as an options, if you're doing option selling on the call front, I would focus on this zone. Now this is position I'm saying, but if you're doing for the bank nifty, we'll come to that in a bit. Now on the support front, 16,455, 16,340 and 16,230 are the key supports to watch. Now this 16,230 is going to play a very important role in deciding whether we stay in the neutral trend where we are right now, mildly bullish to neutral, or we have a further dip. So this level breaking is, or holding, is very key for the Nifty. Then 16,100. Now coming to bank Nifty, 34,880, 35,400, 35,730 and 36,140. Now when you look at the bank Nifty, I can comfortably say that the first hurdle for the bank, the first very strong hurdle for the bank Nifty is going to be this resistance at 35, 730. 1 second, let me highlight it. At 35, 730. This is going to be the very big hurdle for bank Nifty, and then this is going to be the second big hurdle. Now for initial option selling, Monday, Tuesday, let's say, you can use this as a zone if you're basically playing a bit risky. If you want to play it safe, then you go to the higher levels, but this is what you can use for positional. Now on the support front, 33,955 to 34,013, 33,450, and when we look at the bank Nifty, this zone is going to be very important. I shall highlight that. This zone is going to be very important in deciding the trend of the bank Nifty. If we break below this zone, then I will go back to being bearish on the index, and I look for more downside moves. So basically this zone is very key for bank Nifty on the downside, and 16,230 is very key for the Nifty on the downside to hold or to break. Overall, as I said earlier, I'm mildly bullish to neutral on the indexes. If the Nifty can cross the 50-day moving average in the 3-hour chart and the Bank Nifty can cross the 20-day moving average in the 4-hour chart, then I'll be normally bullish up till the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. However, the main levels I'll trade with is the quant levels which I have shared here. Thank you for watching, and do like and subscribe the video and share it on your social media or wherever with us, so other people who are interested in the market can also watch it. Thank you.